Hello YouTube, this is Mike with BDM Outdoors. I hadn't done a garden update in a good long time. Maybe it's been probably a month and a half or so. So I wanted to walk you through my garden and show you what's going on. Raspberries are doing well. We've already gotten some raspberries off. It tasted really good. There's some, I don't know if you can see that. See if I can get down to it. See if you can see some of the raspberries that are growing. Now these are the midsummer raspberries. This is a heritage variety and it will produce raspberries, a few raspberries in the midsummer. Mainly the raspberries will come in the fall, I think, off the tips of the plant. So this is where my peppers are. I've got some jalapenos, peppers in there. As a matter of fact, we've got quite a few growing here. There they are. So there's a nice little pepper right there, little peppers in there. There's peppers everywhere in there. I've got red bell, I got green bell, and I've got some sweet banana pepper that is right there. Let's see if we can find us one. Oh yeah, there's one right there. And there's a big one. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a big one right in there. I don't want to mess that up. But they're doing really well. Those bell peppers are getting humongous. That's awesome. Empty boxes. I've got several empty boxes. The reason I have empty boxes, I've already picked the vegetables out. These 3 boxes in a row here were where I had onions and garlic, and I've already picked those and put those away, and they are absolutely fantastic. I'll show you a shot of those. They're all in my garage right now. Alright YouTube, so here is the onions and the garlic we pulled earlier this year. Probably pulled this in May, I guess it was in May, but I just wanted to show you some of this. Here's some of the garlic I pulled. I apologize for the light. There's not much light here in the garage where I'm standing, and I'm not going to go get all my lights to do this, but look at that garlic. Look at that garlic. This is early Italian. Got these, got the seed garlic from Burpees. I had my girl and one of her friends breed that. Look at that. And here is another breeding. We're going to tell you, this is the Italian Select, I think. It didn't do as well. We got some big bulbs, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't do as well as the other garlic, as the early Italian. These are my onion. Oh, these are my onions, my yellow onions, and my red onions. I had a big old bunch in the middle of white onions. The white onions don't keep as well, so we use them up first, but you can see how pretty these onions are. Look how pretty that onion is. I'm so proud of growing them onions. This forest over here is my asparagus beds, and they are just doing fantastically. This is their 2nd year. We cut earlier this year, and next year we'll be able to cut for weeks on that, so we're looking forward to that. We love asparagus. This is my sweet potato bed. It's doing real well. First year I've grown sweet potatoes. Not sure how that's going to work out. Looks like they're doing well. At least the green part's doing well. We'll know about the potatoes later. Over here are some green beans. This is my 2nd planting of green beans. We're not growing enough to can, but we're certainly growing enough to have batches to eat. A couple little tomato plants. This is a little cherry tomato and a little grape tomato. Over here, these are my Roma tomatoes, and they are loaded. Look at all those tomatoes. I hope you can see that. Let me zoom in on this one. Look at all those tomatoes that are on that plant. and they're just about getting ready to turn. Some of them have already turned. One problem I've got is a little bottom end rot or blossom rot, if that's what you call it. I did lime this bed earlier this year, but I guess I didn't put enough in there. So next year, I saw on YouTube on another channel where a guy just loads up the hole with lime, the planting hole, and that's what I'm going to do next year. Same thing here. These are some early girls, and we've already picked a bunch of early girls off of that. This is a determinate plant, so they're getting ready to all turn at the same time, and they're loaded as well. I mean, there are tomatoes everywhere. We plan on canning these and using these for our canning tomatoes, for like stews and soups and things like that. Carrots, we have plenty of carrots. This is my first batch, and it's really ready to be picked. I've got a second batch coming, and I will actually be planting some more carrots today, probably inside that okra box right there. So this is one of my pride and joy beds here. I'm really enjoying this. These are blackberries. These are triple crown blackberries. Matter of fact, last night, yesterday afternoon late, you can see where I thinned the bottoms, I thinned the plants. I actually got, trying to get four to five good stalks or good canes coming up. That I've also trimmed the bottom leaves so that no disease can come up to the plant through the leaves that might be on the ground, some kind of ground-borne disease. They also make it more manageable. You can see that I'm trellising them. They have to be trellised. They are a vining type of blackberry. Not all of them are growing at the same rate, so you see that some over here, some smaller plants, are not quite ready to be trellised yet. They will be. They'll get there. Thinning out the plants a little bit and thinning out some of the canes will actually direct some of the vigor and the plant growth to what's left. So they should take off pretty well. Oh, and there's an unwanted critter right there. I don't know if you can see it flying around. It's a Japanese hornet. Don't like those. So those are my blackberries. In addition to my blackberry plants that were a pride and joy for me this year, I've also got watermelon plants. I've never grown watermelon before. It doesn't, it's like any other plant. It doesn't seem too difficult. I got on YouTube, found very few videos about growing watermelon, and not very good videos, by the way. This one guy had a 5-part series, and it started out, he was in a raised bed, not unlike that bed right there where I have my blackberries. By the time I got to part 5, those things are sprawled everywhere, and you can see these vines are sprawled everywhere in my yard as well. So I've been trying to keep them in check, trying to keep them in this little dirted area that I created, this little tilled area that I created. But they really want to creep. So if you want to grow watermelon, unless you get a bush variety, you better have some room. Here I have 3 cantaloupe plants, all grown from seed, and they're doing well. Never grown a cantaloupe before. They'll be ripe when they're ripe, I guess. We'll have to figure out what ripe means to a cantaloupe, or when to pick a cantaloupe. I don't know when to pick a cantaloupe any more than I know to pick a watermelon, but I'm sure it'll come to me. Apple trees, I had bought 3 apple trees in the fall, in the early spring of this year, planted them, and they're doing very well. So here's my bottom area. Try to get this before the sun gets too far into the lens of the camera. So I've got a variety of what I call eating tomatoes. These are the Big Beefs and the German Johnson. First year I've grown a German Johnson. You can see that there's some tomatoes on there, and they're doing really well. I've got okra plants. These are the 6 okra plants that I originally planted, and they're doing well, and they're producing okra. Not a whole lot right yet, but they'll come on here in the next couple of weeks, and they'll start producing so much I can't hardly keep it cut. Alright, so that's the garden update for today. Again, it's July the 4th. It's about 8:30, 8:50 in the morning, and everything seems to be growing. We should have some more things to show you in the next few weeks. Hopefully we'll have another update here in the next week, or like I said, next couple of weeks. And signing off, and we'll see you then. Thank you so much.